Dear Soli, Roy, Michael, Steph, Lieselot, dear IFA friends, ladies and gentlemen, I am truly indebted to Roy for not only inviting me to give this special address, but also to take the time, care, and patience of assisting me with his thoughts, vast experience, and personally visiting my chambers for making this address. It is also an honor for me to give this address in the presence of so many from whom I have learned from, I have worked under, I have appeared before, and I have also appeared against, who are present today. I must confess that I cannot think of a finer bar association than the Mumbai Tax Bar that I am very proud to be a part of, which has led from the forefront for the good of the judicial process and above all to preserve its integrity. I propose to address you on 4 important issues. Firstly, the key challenges on the international tax front, the role of the International Fiscal Association in the international arena, the role of the Indian professionals, the Indian revenue, and the Indian judiciary, and finally, what I see is the role of India in the international tax arena. So I now turn to the first point, which is the key challenges on the international tax front. If international tax was like a film, there is no doubt that the current blockbuster, leading way above the 100 crores club and allegedly in value more than 1 million Chennai Expresses put together, and top of the pops is BEPS. For the international tax world, BEPS is a bullet train, where the tracks are being laid at the same time as the train is speeding rapidly over it. BEPS has timelines which are as ambitious as a mission to Mars. Only yesterday, OECD released the so-called aggressive BEPS calendar. I have heard the word aggressive being used by the OECD in a negative context, but for the first time, the word aggressive is being used by them in probably a positive context, and they have released an aggressive BEPS calendar for next year. For those of whom demise probably the end of the Kingfisher calendar, you now have another calendar to look forward to. I'm not sure you may look forward to that as much. I do not propose to convert this speech into a discussion on BEPS. Rather, I wish to give you one critical datum and fact. By September 2014, in Table A.2 of the Action Plan, there are deadlines from addressing the challenges of the digital economy to the neutralizing the effects of hybrid mismatch arrangements, and more significantly, developing multilateral instruments for implementing the work on BEPS. We are therefore 9 months away from actions that promise to revolutionize our tax world. It is very good to note why the OECD had to pick September 2014. Because there is a more important event to happen in October 2014 for which the OECD wanted to be ready, and that is the IFA Mumbai Congress. The OECD has said that international tax law is the key pillar supporting the growth of the economy. There is, however, significant misgiving by several on this view, including the political class at the top of the G20 and the G7, that this pillar is crumbling. Tax law concepts are based on the model of the 1960s. And just as digital phones have changed our life, mobile capital and the digital world has changed the business world. There is visible power in global corporations to allocate profits to friendly tax jurisdiction and legally minimize tax outgoings. This was a powder keg which exploded, the trigger being the 2008 financial crisis, which led to the birth of BEPS. BEPS is also a bit like the Star Wars trilogy. I believe we are only at part 2, and parts 3 to 10 are still to unfold. Like Star Wars, the critical thing will be to find, identify, and eliminate the Darth Vaders of the international tax world. This will be easier said than done. Another critical challenge will be transfer pricing. Professor Van has said that this is a greater challenge than even the age-old dispute between source and resident countries. The most important changes in international tax is the pivoting of this subject to the top of the decision-making level. For senior government officials and bureaucracy, your role as a tax official